House Judiciary, Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, always a pleasure to see you again. So, Congressman, what do you make of this report that a court-appointed federal watchdog is investigating UAW President Shawn Fain? That this court monitor is working to stamp out corruption at the union after that stunning, bribery and embezzlement scandal several years ago. There's no indication right now Fain is being probed for any of that. But what do you make of this story?
Well, look, when there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, it's something that we obviously have to evaluate. I'm glad that they're doing it. I'm not against unions. I'm not against unions when they're doing the job of representing their people and aren't inserting politics into what they do. Unions are no place for a left-wing liberal agenda, for woke agenda. They are a place to make sure that people get an honest wage for honest work, and a good American job, and that I believe in. So the concern here is the UAW has had a history, we know what happened in the past year, of having problems, having issues, having corruption. That needs to be rooted out because it's not fair to the everyday hard-working people who are paying their union dues. So I'm glad they're doing it.
Congressman, to what you just said, this watchdog, Neil Barofsky, he was appointed in May of 2021, as part of that settlement to avoid a government takeover of the UAW and the fallout of that scandal. But the Detroit News is reporting Barofsky has been investigating members of the UAW's governing board, including the president, the secretary-treasurer, one of the union's regional directors, that basically they're obstructing, basically, we don't know what that part of the investigation is, but this obstruction charge or allegation that Fain is obstructing the probe into fraud and corruption, that he's reportedly investigating, also Barofsky is investigating allegations Fain retaliated against a UAW vice president. Congressman, couldn't this be a violation of that 2020 consent decree between the Justice Department and the UAW that avoided a federal takeover of the union? If he finds that, is that a violation of that?
Well, I think it is a violation of the consent decree, but we're going to let the judges and the attorneys figure this out and find out for sure. But what's a real concern here is that the secretary-treasurer and the president obviously are going to war with each other and are not on the same page, and there's real issues. And she has made some serious accusations against Shawn Fain. So again, this union has a problem. And instead of worrying about, again, their own leadership and how they can gain whatever it is they want to gain, and again, it's all alleged at this point, instead of worrying about liberal left-wing policies and everything else, how about you do the right thing for the working people who actually work and have to pay the damn union dues? And that's what they're tired of. People are tired of paying dues for something and it's not being used for the right thing. So I hope they root this out, get down to it, and make this union decent.
What could Congress do? If Barofsky comes back with a really negative report on what he found about the UAW, what would Congress do? What would you guys do?
Well, there's a lot that we can do. And I mean, that's something that we have to look into. And I don't want to say something prematurely here. And I don't want to say something on alleged violations. But Congress, through the various committees and through legislation, can do things, obviously. But we need to make sure first that it's true, need to make sure that it happens. And you know what? This is something that shouldn't need a darn law. This is something that should just on its own. The membership should be able, working with leadership, to straighten this out. The problem is they've got rotten leadership, it seems, allegedly at this time. I think we're going to hear and see a lot in the future.
All right. Congressman Van Drew, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you very much. We hope to have you back on soon.